I recently decluttered 90% of my entire makeup collection, and as a content creator, that is a lot of makeup. When I turned 30, I noticed that my skin lacked way more hydration, it needed more thorough skin prep, and I was better off using lighter, more minimal layers on the skin. So by removing all of the products that don't complement and flatter my skin, I really condensed the amount to literally 10% of what it was. And I just really focus on that kind of project pan, that very strategic makeup choice that really enhances the skin. So today we're going to create that makeup look, and I'm going to use some of the products in my 10% that I really swear by for over 30. I do just want to say that I also did purchase 2 new products today as well from MAC. These were an intentional purpose because I do not have any powder highlighter in my collection anymore. And also I really enjoy cream highlighters. Even in my minimal collection, I've got like 3 liquid highlighters, but cream I think is better. This is better for me. I'll be removing the liquid highlighters and sticking with the one. I'll be doing another declutter in my makeup collection very soon that I will be filming because I still think it's a little bit too large for what I need, even creating content, to be honest, and everything that I don't keep goes in a big basket, and it will go to one of you guys once a month or once every other week depending on how much I accumulate. So please make sure you subscribe for that, and you can comment down below with any skin tips you have or any particular products that you are looking for or that you need in your collection, and I would definitely pick one of you guys for a win. So in terms of makeup prep, that specifically for me means the right skincare prep and enough of the hydration I need in my skincare. When you turn 30, your skin loses a lot of its elasticity, which therefore means that it doesn't have that bounce, it doesn't have that same capability to hold makeup and to look seamless. It doesn't sink in the best. And so I found the older I got, I needed lighter layers, lighter textures, but also makeup products that are primarily skincare based, because they will sit on my skin and literally look like skin. So anything that's a medium to full coverage for me is a no-go, and anything that doesn't have that skincare element to it is also pretty much a no-go for me as well. So my 3 top picks, I've got a lot, but I will share 2 to 3 top picks just before we do my collection video of my favorites. Okay, so number 1 in there is this new one that I tried quite recently. It was recommended to me. It's the Shiseido Revitaliscence Skin Glow Foundation Tint. And it really is a tint. It's so heavily skincare based. It's a beautiful, almost like a serum formula. So when you massage it into the skin, it genuinely just melts in like skincare. And you can build this up. So I actually just use my fingers for this, but you can use a sponge or brush. I mean, if you use a sponge, you're probably gonna take away a lot of the coverage. I would always recommend either a brush or your fingers to apply this one, but this, I love this one. I will definitely be repurchasing because it's so good. Another fairly new discovery that I have to talk about is this Dior Forever Hydra Nude foundation in 3N. 3N is my summer shade. It's a good match for me right now, but in winter I am 2N. And again, this is 50% water and hyaluronic acid and skincare based. So again, that was immediately a draw to me to purchase it, and I did purchase this with my own money, and I'm very, very in love with this. Sometimes I'll mix these 2 together just to get slightly more coverage from this one, or maybe a little bit of a warmer tone, but together they work still very similar because they're very similar base product. And then the last one before we jump into the tutorial today is this one by Hourglass. I cannot skip the recommendation on the Hourglass skin tint because this is and has been for over 1.5 years my favorite skin tint. It's just that perfect level of the right level of coverage. It's enough, but it's not too much. It's also very skincare based, it's buildable, and it lasts all day. So it's a really lovely one, especially if you're dehydrated. Tuck my hair behind my ears. And so I'm gonna go in with, obviously, my Shiseido. I wanna show you how this looks on the skin. I'm gonna do a little swatch. As you can see, it's a little cool tone, but I will probably change the tone next time. But when I blend it in, it works like really well. So you don't need a lot. I'm gonna take like just 1 pump and put it on both sides of my face. And then I'm just gonna start massaging this into my skin. And you may think, God, using your fingers, what are you doing? But I do think as I've gotten older, and I don't want to say I'm old, so I'm only 32, but as I've gotten older, I find products sit so much nicer on the skin when I do use my fingers. And just keep a little hand cloth near you and you can just wipe them after. That's what I do. and it really pushes into the skin because of the warmth of your fingers. Your best tools are always your hands, okay? Charlotte Tilbury said it first, but your best tools are your fingers. I don't always go in with concealer because I'm trying to embrace as much of my natural features and face and depth as possible, and I do recommend you do that because you are uniquely yourself. But if I do need concealer, I've really been enjoying this Arborian CC cream. This is in the shade Door, and also the Kosas creamy concealer is beautiful, and I love my Hourglass one if I need a little bit more coverage or just something slightly bolder, but I use the tiniest amount. So I'll go in with Kosas today, and this is in the shade 2.6C, and again, like I say, I don't like to apply a lot, but sometimes if I feel like I'm really lacking in sleep, I will apply a little bit, take my finger again, and I'll just press and massage. Now I don't leave it on the skin anymore unless I need the coverage because I don't want heavy coverage. I know some people let it sink in before blending to get more coverage, but I actually really prefer natural depth and shadow in the face. And I think that's more than enough. Like, I don't feel like I need any more coverage. So that's my primary base done. Now let's move on to bronzers, blushes, and the highlighter. So I do have other bronzers, but today I'm going to go in with the classic Chanel. This is actually in the shade Deep, Tan Deep Bronze. Looks like this. It looks very scary, but on the skin, it's so easy to blend, and it's a really lovely tone for my skin. I'm just going to swirl my brush. I use this quite a lot, actually. I really like how it easily blends. Oh, got hair on there. I really like this tone. I think it blends so beautifully, molds into the skin. It doesn't move any product underneath. It's just so lush. We don't want any harsh lines, so I just make sure to really go in and buff that product out on the skin. Another bronzer I really quite enjoy actually is this new one I've received recently from Givenchy, and I think it's a new release. This is in the shade 002. The formula on this is chef's kiss, okay? It blends like an actual dream. I will show you, but after I've done my cream. So I have this Naked Sundays SPF 50 blush. This is in the shade Cabana Glow, and it's very pigmented, but the tone is so pretty and it's so glowy and highlighty, and you really don't need a lot. Like, I always go a bit too heavy-handed because it deceives me. Take a little bit on my hand and just buff this in. It's really, really glowy and flattering, and it just adds a really lovely amount of colour when you buff it out. But again, it's so pigmented that you can be so light-handed, it will last you forever. And it's a really pretty tone. So it gives you this really beautiful, fresh look. And I think that's always the goal with me, is with my makeup, all the time, I want to look fresh and glowy and natural and healthy. So I actually embrace a lot of shine because the minute I put a lot of mattifying products on my skin, I instantly look dry, it settles in fine lines, I feel heavier, I feel cakier. It's just not for me. Like, I'm not 20 anymore. So I love a little bit of a glow and a shine on my skin. Oof, let's open these. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Shell, which is another cream product. And I got Shell because I know the hype is always around Hush, and I remember having Hush, I think, a while back, but when I swatched it again recently in store, it looked quite dark, and I just don't think it's really for me anymore. I could be wrong, but I got Shell because it has a little bit more of a pinky, silvery tone, which for me I think is way more flattering. So I'm going to apply this on the cheekbones. I mean, I don't really need any, but your girl always wants a bit more. So I'm just going to go in. It's a really pretty cream texture. Use 2 fingers, mold them together, and then pat them on the skin. Oh, this is super pretty. Oh, this is really nice. I mean, if you do your skincare and your base right, you probably won't even need this, but I like it. Yeah, that's really nice actually. And the texture doesn't feel like anything on the skin. It's not tacky and sticky, which is a selling point. One thing to note I've really changed at the moment in my makeup routine is I now use and gravitate towards individual shadows. Cream shadows especially, because they're longer wearing, they're so easy to apply, so easy to blend, and just straight out the door. So this is what I've been doing. Now, my 2 favorites right now is 22M from Armani. This will not move. This is bulletproof. And then the other one is by NARS, and this is Oblivion. This really gorgeous like skin tone shade. So let me just apply Oblivion because it's probably my favorite go-to right now. I'm gonna put it all over the lid and up to the crease just to get in that socket. This is how easy it is. It just adds a natural bit of shadow. I pull it out slightly just so I have a little bit of enhancement at the outer corner, and that's it, it's done. It's that quick and simple, truly. I've been following up with a very soft small flick on the outer corner. I used to do quite big thick liners, and even quite recently I was looking back and being like, this doesn't particularly flatter me anymore. Sometimes I just prefer myself without any eyeliner because I think it really opens my eyes. But I'm still a liner girl at present, so I've adjusted it to the tiniest extended flick on the outer corner just to kind of elongate the eyes slightly. So can you see how it's not thick, like it's not impeding in my lid space, which is a problem for me as well, especially on the outer corner now. It's kind of just like I dragged it out further than my eye finishes and just the tiniest little flick. If you find you struggle with eyeliner, then your fingernail is your best friend. Eyelash serums, eyelash curlers, they are my #1 recommendation, or getting a lash lift. I'm due a lash lift, so I'm gonna get one mid-June, but these ones actually from Tweezerman, I feel like they're one of the best. And they're actually like a little Mickey Mouse edition one, but I've got a few different versions. Yeah, just create a lift. See already what a difference that makes in comparison to my other eye. Before even putting mascara on, it just gives them that level of lift we're looking for. Been really enjoying the Armani. Now, it depends on the size of your eyes, okay? So my eyes are quite rounded anyway. So I never really put mascara on the bottom lashes. A, because it stops any transfer underneath, which is like a fail-safe. And B, because I feel like it actually just aids in my eyes looking fresher and also a little bit more almond. But if you want to put mascara on your bottom lashes, please go ahead. But this is just one thing I've been doing and I love. Okay, so I feel like the final step in my everyday makeup routine is a lip. I recently found this one from Merit, and it's more of a lip contour. It's in the shade Beverly Hills. I love it because it kind of contours the lip without looking like you have lip liner on. And that's literally everything I've been looking for in a lip liner. It's like fake filler. Like, look, it's made my lips look so plump. That's my recommended everyday go-to makeup that I've been loving, why I've been loving the products. And if you want to try anything, then I'll leave everything mentioned down below in the description. And I really hope you guys found this somewhat educational, useful, valuable. If you want to see my skincare recommendations, what you actually need, what I've been using, then check out the previous video to this because it has all that information in there. And I'll see you in another one very soon.